Good evening, welcome to CBC Weekend News. Stories making headlines. The Democracy and Motherland Defenders Coalition rejects calls to postpone the August polls. Electoral Commission of Zambia electronic verification exercise starts with hiccups. And Lusaka City Council buries 45 unclaimed bodies. Good evening, and now the news in detail. The Coalition and Motherland Defenders DMDC has noted with deep concern and is disturbed by calls from some political players and stakeholders to postpone the general elections due to increased number of COVID-19 patients. The coalition is of the view that such a call is unfounded and unattainable, as elections are a constitutional matter, and citizens must be aware that the election date is now embedded in the Republican Constitution. Malangi has more in this report.
The call by some opposition political players to postpone the 12th August 2021 general elections due to the COVID-19 pandemic has not been welcomed by the Democrats and Motherland Defenders Coalition. Coalition spokesperson Andrew Nsewewe has questioned why Zambia should postpone the elections when various countries have continued to conduct general elections. Speaking during the Coalition monthly watch media briefing on Sunday in Lusaka, Mr. Nsewewe has called upon the Zambian people not to entertain political players with an agenda to push for the postponement of the 2021 general election.
The Commission rejects calls to postpone the 2021 elections. Compatriots, the coalition is delighted to note the great works that the Electoral Commission of Zambia is undertaking in preparation for the August 12 general elections. We are appreciative and understand the fact that the pandemic is ravaging nations across the globe, and our country has not been spared. We have lost our loved ones, we have lost members of the clergy, we have lost highly productive citizens, we have lost future and current leaders to COVID-19. It would be highly naive of us to continue engaging in the preparation of the 2021 elections as though the country is not threatened with this potential health crisis which is posed by coronavirus pandemic.
Coalition committee members have raised different issues.
Many stakeholders taking measures to communicate and disseminate messages for our people, our electorates in our motherland, to observe the health advice that is given. Indeed, we can manage to have these elections even in the midst of the COVID-19.
Build our country together. Let us avoid favoritism because of certain influential political players or national leader players that would want to use media houses towards their advantage. We need to be professional. We need to know that our sole duty is to represent this country very well, even on the international market.
Said that the Constitution is a document that should stand the test of time and not be amended at a whim. With the elections a few months away, want to advise the government not to entertain such illogical calls from UPND parliamentarians.
Mangi Zombola, CBC News.
PEP President Sean Tembo says his party is aware of some stakeholders who are advocating for the Electoral Commission of Zambia to restrict the number of foreign electoral observers on the basis that they might increase the spread of COVID-19 in Zambia. Sean Tembo has categorically made it clear that his party does not agree with such views.
This matter is that we believe that it is important for foreign observers to actually monitor the upcoming polls so that we can have credibility because we must not forget that we're just coming from elections which were taking place in Uganda, where foreign observers were prevented from being able to monitor elections using the same excuse of COVID-19. And so if we did the same here in Zambia, people would generally draw a parallel between Uganda and Zambia. And we want to argue that Zambia's democracy, despite its many challenges, is much more vibrant than Uganda's. We've heard about 5 peaceful transfers of power in Zambia compared to none in Uganda. And so we wish to appeal to the Electoral Commission of Zambia to ensure that foreign observers are allowed to monitor this year's elections.
The Leadership Movement Party has welcomed the Electoral Commission of Zambia's electoral calendar ahead of the August 12th presidential and general elections. Malangi has more in this report.
In the past days, the Electoral Commission of Zambia shared the 2021 general election calendar with details of activities which are taking place between now and conduct of the general election on 12th August 2021. A Leadership Movement LM party has welcomed the ECZ electoral calendar ahead of the August 12th, 2021 presidential and general elections. LM party president Dr. Richard Silumbe says his party is not only ready but also willing to take part and win the coming election.
Welcome the calendar that has come out from the Election Commission of Zambia. We are saying to the electors, to the voters there out to say Leadership Movement is ready and we are going to participate in this election. We want everyone to be ready. It's jobs to the Zambian youths. It's tax breaks and tax holidays to Zambian businesses. It's support your local team. It's land to the Zambian people. Zambia for Zambians. We want to ensure that all Zambians who own a piece of land, they own it with title deeds. We want to ensure that our youths that are roaming the streets, millions of the youths, they get jobs after August 12th, because this is the responsibility that the incoming government has to have. We need to support our youths. We need to make them productive. We need to ensure that we put our youths to work. We want to ensure that we support the local businesses. We want to ensure that they have a relief so that they can be in business, they grow bigger and better.
Angi Zombola, CBC News.
The verification exercise of the voters' register has commenced on Sunday, the 7th of February 2021. However, some Lusaka residents have raised concerns over the poor mobile network they are experiencing as they attempt to verify their information. Here is a report.
Electoral Commission of Zambia ECZ on Friday 5th February 2021 set 30 days in which all registered voters can verify the accuracy of their voter details electronically. And the process commenced on Sunday 7th February and it will run until 7th May 2021.
And provide convenience for the registered voters, we have devised electronic means of verification of voter details on the provisional register, especially now that the country has not been spared by the COVID-19 pandemic. As earlier stated, this phase of the inspection will be available on 2 platforms as follows. So, one will be expected to dial the USSD code, that's star 214 hash, star 214 hash, available on all networks. That is Airtel, MTN, and Zamtel. Once a registered voter dials that code, it will prompt them with options of what action they need to take, such as verifying your details and other services available on the platform.
Despite the Electoral Commission of Zambia during its press briefing that the process will be available on all networks effective, some residents of Lusaka have raised concerns over the poor mobile network they are experiencing as they attempt to verify their information. Some residents who shun away from the camera have called upon the ECZ to provide other measures as not everyone has access to mobile phone.
Checking mwana kambira wa ECZ star 214 hashi ma network yonse ya Teo, Zamteo na MTN vonse sivi kwanisika ile mba network failed. So manje sinzi wanenze na mzanga ukuna eve ya esa enzabo kamba vintu vase mkurine. So sinzi ya government apena zanga na ubanjo ba ECZ because na futi si vonse wana access yo checking up ma phone. Ndio kukamba kwa anga. So ni pempa vasakire ko njira inangu metinga kwansire ku checking ama details yake.
Be mafoni nanga bebe chidankala bwanje ambeni nishina bebe better and be advantage muri program. Swanga vote swanga step verifying just go to the phone ambeni abantu ngati imamame mukabele shindaba chikabwanje
sifuna je kukambako even nakamba ba ECZ just verify my registration card, my voters card. Wafunga chokusta verify cause like of monga nakuli in an example. Ine voters card yanga ina mistake. Atipenda bwerera ko wananuza ati laptop ina kopa ma details yanga kulipe. So mukabwere mailo kwenda ko kupeza polling station ipenze lili atuachokapo waenda kwinanga. So ine yanga na ina problem. Mashtabu ino ECZ kushita verify. Tina ma mistakes ma voters card yakashite bwanje tikana chance yo chita correct tikavote ko nice wakasakatikanie kozi ino eve divota.
Mangi Nzombola, CBC News.
This is CBC Weekend News. We now take our set of commercials, more local stories after the break.
Everything seems to get a little more expensive this time of year, but keeping your family entertained doesn't have to. Now you can get a GoTV decoder with 1 month of GoTV Plus for the new low price of 249 kwacha. That's 24/7 access to your favorite local stars, the biggest names in the game, international movies, and plenty to keep the kids busy. It's a deal you can't afford to miss, so don't delay. Get this limited offer today. GoTV, love it.
There is a core belief at the heart of Liquid Telecom. The belief that every individual has the right to be connected. The pursuit of this vision has seen us build the largest independent fiber network in Africa. From Cape to Cairo, we are connecting more of Africa. Liquid Telecom, building Africa's digital future.
Welcome back, and now the rest of our local stories. Minister of Health Dr. Jonas Chanda has thanked His Royal Highness Paramount Chief Mpezeni, the fourth of the Ngoni people, for the bold step he has taken to cancel this year's Nkwala's traditional ceremony in line with COVID-19 pandemic guidelines given by the government. Dr. Chanda further says the wearing of face masks in public places is a tangible and practical measure to curb the spread of the pandemic. Meanwhile, Zambia has recorded 1,206 new cases out of 10,064 tests that were carried out in the last 24 hours, representing 12% positivity, 19 deaths and 1,425 recoveries. This is contained in the latest COVID update statement. The National Congress Party President Peter Chanda says some political party leaders have no heart for the people of Zambia. Chanda notes that Zambia, as a Christian nation, should not allow leaders who do not subscribe to God's presence and deliverance. Chanda said this at a press briefing on Sunday morning.
Zambia is a Christian nation, and we cannot allow
a situation where leaders who do not subscribe to the godly leadership to take the reins of power. We have leaders that have openly said, let people worship what they want. And we all know who these leaders are. We have certain leaders, again, with a very questionable character, where a certain politician mentioned to say, this particular gentleman proposed with the other gentleman. And facts are there on record that certain people practice homosexuality. We have leaders who are tax evaders. It has been proved by the competent courts in this country that certain people took advantage of the privilege they had and evaded tax. My call to the people of Zambia is this. A righteous foundation has been built in the country. The National House of Prayer is being built at the moment to consolidate the declaration of Zambia as a Christian nation, as well as upholding the principles and values that are biblical, which are also enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia.
The Lusaka City Council LCC has buried 45 unclaimed bodies at Chingwere Cemetery. Lusaka City Council Public Relations Manager George Sichimba says, according to a letter from the investigating hospital, the 45 unclaimed bodies have been lying in the mortuary for some time now, and this has given rise to an unpleasant mortuary environment. Mr. Sichimba has disclosed that the council has so far reburied 17 out of the 20 exposed human remains at Chingwere Cemetery. He says the remaining 3 will be reburied as soon as the water level where they are deposited goes down.
Notice is issued to allow members of the public to claim any of the bodies that conduct their burials, and by law 14 days is assigned. After 14 days, then all the bodies that are not claimed are buried, and this time around there was no body that was claimed, and so all the 45 bodies were buried on Friday last week. In the same vein, the council has buried 17 out of the 20 exposed human remains at Chingwere Cemetery. Members of the public may recall that in the recent past there were some bodies which were exhumed by storm water, and so the council embarked on the exercise to rebury them, and out of the 20 that were identified, 17 have so far been buried. The 3 will be buried soon. The reason why they have not been buried is that where they are deposited there is a lot of water, and so until the water level goes down, that's when the 3 bodies will be buried, and we are expecting that to be soon, so that we can clear all the 20 remains that were exposed by stormwater.
That's a wrap from our news desk, but before we go, let's take a look at stories that made headlines. The Democracy and Motherland Defenders Coalition rejects calls to postpone the August 12 elections. Electoral Commission of Zambia electronic verification exercise starts with hiccups. And the Lusaka City Council buries 45 unclaimed bodies. From me, Ted Matakala and the entire news crew, thank you for being with us. Stay tuned.
When the time draws near for you to renew your DSTV subscription, you can now do so conveniently online wherever you are with My DSTV app. Just log into your account. Click the Pay Now button on your home screen. You will then see information on your current package, account details, total amount due, and total amount to pay. Select the Ting radio button and then click the Pay Now button. Now you just choose your preferred payment method and confirm your payment. And just like that, your favorite entertainment flows on undisturbed. You can pay by Visa card, mobile banking, Airtel Money, MTN Mobile Money, or Zamtel Makwacha. You can even pay by internet banking or USSD. However you manage your money, there's a convenient option for you. My DSTV, for your DSTV self-service on the go.
Making GoTV payments is easier than you think. But first, you have to log in. First of all, open the GoTV app, then select your country. Fill in your surname or cell phone number, and then your IUC number. That's it. You can log in. Welcome to your home page. Now click on Pay Now. Select Make a Payment. Next, you will be asked how much you wish to pay. You can do this by clicking on the space next to the kwacha sign